Okay folks, this is our next step. As you see, this is the turret. This piece here on the inside, or these two pieces here, they come as two halves. We're simply just going to glue these into place. Once that's set, don't forget your poly caps, they go on the end. And then you can slot this into the lower section of the gun. They will sit in there, and this top piece gets sandwiched together and locks it all into place. Okay folks, I want to talk about this turret. It's going together nicely. Parts are fitting perfectly fine. These parts on the side, I didn't even have to glue them, they just snapped into place. Little tip on the top here, you've got some small grab handles and they generally look like this. Leave a little bit of tab on there so it gives you something to grab hold of so you can put it into place. So simply just grab your part, dab some glue on the ends, and then it can go straight into those holes. So it gives you something to put into place, like you can hold it. There wasn't enough glue. And then once it's dry, you can just simply snip it off and a little bit of sanding, and you're less likely to break the part. And I find it just really easy. And now the glue's sticking to my fingers. Usually this does work. It's not working now. Okay folks, our next step is this automatic machine gun assembly. Lower section comes as clear. These parts are the main gun itself. You have the back hatch. You can have it open or closed. I don't see the point of having it open like this because there's no internal in detail, so I don't see the point. So we're just going to glue this into place. A little bit of glue across there. As for the main machine gun part itself, you have this cylinder piece, gets slotted in here. Again, they tell you not to glue it, so you allow the machine gun to work. I've already test fitted this and tried it, and it doesn't work, so I'm just going to glue it into place anyway. So that goes in there. I'm going to glue it in place because I'm not going to have mine working. Like I say, it doesn't work. So, and then the front plate. There is a rubber cover that goes on top, which is made with the DS rubber as well. Plus, once that's on top of there, it's definitely going to move anyway. We have the side plate of the gun. Pop that into place. The machine gun itself, or 50 caliber, I imagine it would be, goes in the front. It is slide molded, which is a nice touch. It gets put into there. So that's the basics of the machine gun. We're ready to attach it to the turret, which is here, which is going to sit on top of there. We have got some stowage to go in the back of the turret. And next step is the main gun itself. Also, just another little tip, the underside, because it's clear, also make up these clear lenses. Saves having to mask them up. What you want to do is just paint this gun assembly as one piece already. Just paint it, and then we can just drop this in afterwards, and it saves mask on masking. Okay folks, there you are, it's all complete now. It's all ready for paint. As I say, I was planning on using metal tracks, but the metal tracks come as two halves. You get the metal part and the rubber part comes as metal as well, but trying to super glue the two parts together, the super glue would not want to hold. There's nothing wrong with the super glue because I've used it on this and I've used it on other models and the super glue hasn't run out. I know it works perfectly fine. So as I say, this is ready for paint. Kit goes together lovely. I was surprised that actually being a dragon kit, normally there's a ton of parts and it can be quite complicated and instructions can be quite difficult to understand, but this has actually gone together nicely. There's a couple of issues with the instructions where a couple of part numbers are incorrect, but once you figure that out, there's no problem. I have got some aftermarket for this. You can see a couple of parts that I've used already that are in the back of like stowage, which are tarps and bags and stuff. I have some more bags that go on the actual outside of the cage. We have some jerry cans that go on the side. We can put spare tracks and boxes on the fenders. There's a couple of track pieces that come with the kit that you can use. The turret moves. The actual gun has a little bit of movement, but not too much because of the rubber parts. There's the turret at the top, the automatic gun, that works, that spins, but they're all quite stiff, so I wouldn't want to mess around with it too much because you could end up breaking it. I'm going to have to mask off some parts with liquid mask, like these vision ports at the front. They're going to have to be masked off on the lenses and then painted. A little bit on the inside of these clear parts on the side, they're kind of vision ports, so they have to be masked off a little bit. Inside here I did mention about the insert. We're going to paint this separately and then put it back together, saves masking that. So our next step is to paint this black, do the white highlights, and then do the Israeli sand colour. And the Israeli sand colour for the 70s era, the one I have is from AK and it's this early sand colour, so I'm going to be using this from AK. The black base is going to create shadows and stuff. We can do the tyres and wheels. I'm going to paint the tracks separately and I'm going to put them back on, so we're going to use a brown mixture for tarnish effect, which I have a custom mix of a reddy brown colour, and then we can weather them up with sand and like sienna and dust and stuff. This is going to be a little bit grimy and a little not much chips, but it's going to be dusty because it's in the desert. May do a little dio, some sand. I have a couple of camels which I used in the dio before, which I never filmed, but I can probably put the camels near it, so we shall see.